Hello, Becca.
Hello.
Um, this has been a rough start to the pod today. It
It
took
has
us
taken
half
us almost an hour to start.
it took us approximately 45 minutes to get the video to work, and now we just messed around with the glowing orb of light in the corner of Becca's room for 10 minutes.
I'll just do the whole video like this.
It's
Is
not
this
better.
better?
It's making the entire rest of your room even brighter. I don't understand.
It makes
And
the whole thing brighter.
whoever is a genius with like lighting and visual effects and stuff, please send us some message, comment on this video and tell us what we are doing wrong because we can't figure it out. We tried a bunch of different stuff and I don't know what's happening.
What are you
Like,
gonna do?
what are you gonna do? Um, Becca, something big has happened in my life.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Another Broadway star is going on tour?
no, less. It's just okay.
Less big than that.
Yeah. Our sister Tama has watched The Hunger Games.
He had never seen the Hunger Games?
She had seen it once, but it's because we tied her up and made her watch it.
You were
And
like obsessed with the Hunger Games for
I'm still obsessed with the
ever.
Hunger Games.
How
No,
did she not
not
see it?
she's not obsessed with it. I'm
I
obsessed with
I
it.
know. You are her sister.
Yeah,
You
I
are
know.
attached at the elbow. How did she not see it?
She refused to watch it. She didn't want anything to do with it. So one time, we like tied her to a chair and made her watch it. And because of the whole being tied up thing, she did not enjoy. So, but she watched it with her friends the other day and she was like, now she has seen all of them except for the very last one and she's obsessed. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited.
Is there
I'm so
four?
excited. Yeah, there's four.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Catching
I've
Fire.
only seen
no,
two, read
There's
two.
Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2.
Hmm.
I'm so excited. There's nobody else in my life because like I can send you like Harry Potter stuff, I can send dad or like I can send you a lot of stuff, but like there's people for like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, uh but there's like not there's Vampire Diaries. There's nobody for Hunger Games. I have nobody to relate with on Hunger Games stuff. So now I'm like, yes. Yes, yes. I'm so excited. I'm more excited than she is, obviously, but I'm so excited. You're
Are you
next.
calling her and getting a play-by-play every time she watches a movie? Tama is a
Like,
really entertaining person to while she's watching the movie and immediately after she watches the movie to have her like talk about it. We
yeah, I
watched
said, oh, I wish I could have been there to watch you watch the films.
it's one of those movies where she's sitting like this and you're sitting like this just watching her.
hmm I was like, oh, I would love. You're next for Hunger Games, but I was like, the same thing you're saying right now with the watching her watch it. I am so excited to watch her watch Breaking Dawn Part 2. Ooh. It's crazy. I mean, I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it either, right?
Twilight?
Breaking Dawn Part 2. Yeah, all of Twilight's.
I've seen the end of the third one and the beginning of the fourth one, I believe. It's just the honeymoon and the wedding I've seen.
Okay. Then no, you haven't seen the
Cause,
part I'm talking
cause you
about.
were upstairs and you were like, Becca, come sit down. We have to do brackets. And I was like, you're watching Twilight. And she was like, yeah, we're doing brackets this moment. And then we were done and you were like, no, no, no. We're starting the next movie. And I did not enjoy.
Oh yeah. I'm still waiting on that. We gotta get a live commentary of you watching Twilight because Twilight is like is for the jokes.
So I'm told.
Twilight is like we love Twilight. We love Twilight. But also it's like Twilight, you know? Anyways, not important. More important, I saw a video like a week ago maybe. And it was somebody who was like, everybody is so mad that there's all these remakes and sequels, and there are no original ideas anymore for movies, and nothing's coming out that's good. And he's like, two original idea movies came out this past week, and nobody went and saw them. So is it really Hollywood's fault, or is it the viewers' fault? And I was like, um, first of all, calm down. Second of all, I think it is still Hollywood's fault a little bit because of those two movies. I had seen promo one time. I'd seen one little snippet trailer on Instagram for one of the movies. The other movie, can't even remember what it was called, don't even know. So obviously I'd never seen anything for that. The one that I had seen one trailer for, and I remember going, oh, that looks pretty good, but I'd only seen one thing about it. It didn't say when it was coming out on the little thing that I saw. Didn't say when it was coming out. No information to be like, oh, I should go see this. And they always do promo way in advance, so it's like, oh, in
Coming
2 months,
2037.
yeah, in 2 months you can go see this movie. Okay, I'd forgotten about it, obviously, by the time it came out. That movie is Novocaine. So,
I've seen the trailer of this movie.
yeah, what did you think?
I thought I was like, "Oh, this is a good I enjoy the premise of this movie." I don't think I personally would enjoy like based off the trailer, I don't think I would enjoy like the humor and like but I was like when I saw it, I was like, "Yeah, start making stuff. Go ahead and make stuff." I
Make
love
stuff, guys.
the poster looks nice. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, "This poster looks sweet."
Yeah, so I
I
was like,
enjoyed it. I didn't see it
obviously,
though.
there needs to be more, there needed to be more, like promo about it because I did go see Novocaine because I watched this film and he's like, nobody went and saw Novocaine. It was so good. And I was like, let's go see if it's good. So I went and watched Novocaine. And let me tell you what, Becca, it was so good.
So good
Novocaine?
or was it like good?
No, it was so good. I'm gonna go see it again. Ah,
Continue telling. What's going on?
I have a new obsession. Jack Quaid. Oh, I love him. Only thing, speaking of Hunger Games, only thing I'd ever seen him in before was the first Hunger Games. He plays Marvel. He's one of the
I seen the first Hunger Games. I don't know who this is.
yeah, he's one of the the careers.
Yeah.
He's one of the careers in the first movie. So like obviously he dies. He's not in the other ones. He's not he's technically in Catching Fire. He's in a flashback. But he's the guy who kills Rue.
Ah.
Yeah. So Hunger Games was like one of the first big things he's done. And the thing that people know him from is this TV show called The Boys, but I've never seen that. So the only thing I have ever seen him in is Hunger Games. So like I know of him and he's the son of two famous actors. So he's like around. So I had known of this man, but I saw Novocaine and I was like, shoot, this man is incredible.
Shoot.
Shoot. Before I dive into Novocaine, I want to also say I saw a trailer for this movie called The Minimalist. Have you seen anything about that?
I don't know.
Probably not. It's not really your scene. It's more on the romance side. It's got Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, so like some big name people, and they're kind of in this love triangle?
I've
Question mark?
seen zero things about this.
I don't know if it's an original idea because I obviously I've not, it doesn't come out. Here's the other thing. It doesn't come out till June, and we're gonna be out of town in June. So
Everything's happening the first week of June, and I would not be there.
I
Why
know.
didn't everyone push it back 2 weeks? Push it ahead 1 week.
Yeah,
Everything's happening the first week of June, and I won't be there.
we could just cancel our trip. We are not canceling our trip.
I've tried. the I haven't tried. It's just that my payments got all messed up, and I could have canceled it.
It's gonna be a great trip. Anyways, into Novocaine. Novocaine. I mean, I don't think you're gonna go see this anytime soon. It is rated R, and that is because of violence and gore.
No
They do
dip.
have one F-bomb. I don't know if they have more. So I don't think it's language at all. It's purely violence and gore. So the
That
premise of
I
the
think those are that I ain't even seen.
yeah, yeah. Well, I always think rate because like rated R movie like I think of Bullet Train. Bullet Train obviously had some blood and violence in it, but it was rated R majority like m mostly based off the language. So like when I think rated R movie, I think language. But this one is the blood and gore and I'm somebody who's like if I'm watching something bloody gory, like I'll be like I'll be making those faces in the theater, which I was in this film. But like I can watch it and be fine. Like I'm not somebody who like will the only thing that I will turn away for is people throwing up. I don't want to watch people throwing up. That I do a little hover
She
that. I don't
she
want to
like
see that.
blocks out the screen. She's like,
Yeah, I don't want to
I'll
see
watch the
people
other
throwing up.
stuff.
Yeah. So, premise of Novocaine. Jack Quaid's character. He it he has this rare condition, genetic condition. Can't remember what it's called. Not important. The name is not important. The condition is important. He cannot feel pain. So he like
His
at the
name
be-
Jonathan Kane, Jack Kane, Jeremy Kane.
in real life,
No, the character
his name is
on the
Nate.
poster, Nathan Kane. That is his name. It's on the poster.
Okay.
It says whatever his first name is, Kane can't feel pain, and then it's just a picture of him like
Yeah.
I've seen the
Anyways,
poster.
okay. Okay. So also there will be spoilers in this. So if
I
you
ain't
want to
gonna
go see
see it.
Novocaine, don't want spoilers, fast forward this little bit, or come back and listen to it after you watch it, because you should go watch it. Anyways, premise of the movie: he has a genetic condition. He can't feel pain. So he works at a bank. Okay, he goes through life very cautious. He like doesn't eat solid foods because he doesn't want to like accidentally bite his tongue off. He's like has tennis balls on the side of all of his corners, like very, very cautious, okay? Um,
Can you not feel anything or just not pain?
just not pain.
Okay,
Why are you confused?
because like you could feel if you were about to bite your tongue off, even if it didn't hurt. I feel.
Well, like, because there's points in the movie where he's like, "Oh, there, I can feel pressure." So I don't know. Again, the tongue thing, I'm like, you could probably eat solid foods. You could probably be okay. That was
Solid
just,
foods are so good, man.
yeah, that was just an example of like how he goes through
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
So he works at the bank. He's assistant manager at the bank, and um, at the bank, there's this girl that he has a crush on.
no.
So he's
Ooh,
been. Ooh. The beginning of this movie is so. Say it with me, Becca. So cute.
cute, so cute. I did not know where you were going with that.
You say I say that all about every movie, and you didn't
Yeah.
know.
No, you say it's so cute. It's so iconic. It's like
The beginning of this movie is so cute. It's so cute. It's pure like rom-com vibes of like he's just trying to get the girl and the girl doesn't notice him because he's like a nerd and she's like really cool. Anyways, so they like bump into each other and she's like, "Oh my gosh, so sorry I spilled coffee all over you. Let me take you out to lunch." So they go to lunch and they get talking, they go on a date and they're like start dating. Okay?
does she
Then
find out like immediately because she spills coffee on him and she's like, "Oh my gosh," and then he's like, "Don't worry, can't feel
yeah, she
pain."
finds out he tells her like when they're having lunch or whatever that he's has this condition. Okay. Then next day at the bank robbers come in. Oh no. Go to rob the bank. Everybody's freaking out. They spoiler alert. This is where the spoilers are happening, okay? I mean, this one's not really that big, but they killed a bank manager. Free. They wouldn't give him the codes. He's dead. So they're like, assistant manager, you're up. Give me the bank codes. And
Is
he's
he
like,
the
I
assistant
can't do
manager?
that. Yeah, he's the assistant manager. And he's like, I can't do that. I can't do that. So then they take the girl, she's working behind the counter. So they like grab her and they're like, I'm gonna shoot her if you don't give me the codes. And he's like, no, 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 wait, 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 wait. Because he's in love with this girl. He loves this girl. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie because, no, 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 listen. Because Jack Quaid's performance when he was like freaking out that he thought that they were gonna hurt her, so good. Oh my gosh, he's so good. So good. I believed every second of this movie because Jack Quaid's that good. But also, they didn't go cheesy with it. Like what you were saying with you saw a trailer and you didn't think that kind of humor you would like. They did not go cheesy with this movie. Okay? They made some choices that really enhanced some comedic elements of it, but like it was it was done in a very it was well done. Like I feel like you and I can be like, what this movie? I don't know about this movie. Like this one was very good. Anyways, so he he like gives them the codes, they take the money, and then they take the girl and leave. And he's like,
For what reason?
"No, what?"
For what reason?
They like used her as a shield to get out of the bank
Uh,
because the cops had arrived. So they used her as a shield to get out of the bank, and then they drove off with her. Okay? And he's like, "No, I have to go save her." So the whole point of the movie is like he's saving this girl from the robbers, but chaos ensues. So like they split off into two cars. There's like three bank robbers, and he follows the car that's not the girl on accident because he doesn't know which one it is. So then he's fighting the one guy, and then so it's the majority of the movie is him fighting these guys, but then also like him trying to find out where they have taken the girl so he can go save her, and he encounters some people. Anyways, because he can't feel pain, there are parts in the movie. Again, I was saying like blood gore. I'm like, oh, there are even things that aren't bloody gory that I was like, oh, oh, because you can't feel pain. So like, there's one scene. I think it's even in one of the trailers where he sticks his hand in a fryer to grab
that's
the
in the
gun. And
trailer, yeah.
I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Do that, no, no. I was like freaking out. I was like, I think I watched the majority of the movie like,
Just got her hands up, like trying to cover.
yeah. And then like,
Watch the whole movie like this.
oh my gosh, I was gasping. I was like, freaking out, freaking out. Yeah. Um, but like, and then in the fight scenes are very good. Like because they can go that I call it going that extra mile because they do things like this man, this man actually should be dead. Okay, he he goes through so much in this movie that like there is no way. That's the only unbelievable thing about this movie. There's no way he's alive at the end of this movie. There's no
When
way.
I watched the trailer and was like, oh, like the premise is he can do all these things because he doesn't feel pain. I thought the first thing I thought was like, in action movies, I don't think the thing that's stopping people from continuing after any of those things happen is not that it's too painful, it's that
Mm,
they're dead and they
yep,
can't move.
yep. Cause like the body takes over. Like when you feel pain, you like again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but like doesn't your body shut down? Like you pass out or you do whatever. Is that because you're feeling pain or is that because your body's like going through it?
Well, shock is different than pain. You can go into shock and like pass out.
Okay.
But
Because like he
I didn't
passed out.
any of those things. I don't even know.
There were some moments where he like passed out, kind of like not passed out, but like he got knocked out. So like I was, anyways, again, not a doctor. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this condition. Anyways, he should have been dead. There's no way everything he goes through in this movie that he is. And like if your leg is broken, okay, you can't feel the pain, but like
You can't use your leg.
you can't use your leg. He be walking on those legs. So, anyways, and like the hand that he stuck in the fryer, like he's using that hand throughout the whole movie. That happens pretty early on. And so it's like, no, if you really can be like using that hand. with your third degree burns. I don't know, it feels like it'd be falling off. So, anyways, so like some of the stuff I was like, oh, I don't like that. Like there was one scene where he was getting tortured, and I was like, no, not for me. This part's not for me. Like the majority of it, I was just gasping, and I was like, oh, scared for
You
him.
you see a lot of movies by yourself, and I imagine like there's like a couple like three seats down for you, and, like looking over, and you're just like by your oh, you're like, like making all these noises by yourself
I
at the
did go
theater.
see
And
this movie by myself, but there was nobody around me. So I tend to go on to movies like when I have days off of work, so I'll go like in the middle of the day when nobody's going to the movies. So then I can be this full reaction and have nobody care. Anyways, so um oh yeah, the fight scenes. So like he's going through these fight scenes, very cool because you can do stuff that like normally people would pass out from, but then he keeps going. But also not in every fight scene, but like in specific moments, they did like a like kind of like a slow-mo type effect. And those were perfectly sprinkled in that it wasn't over the top, but like it did add some dramatic effect. Chef's kiss, very well done. I enjoyed it. Now, coming to the end of the film. He is almost figured out where the girl is, okay? So it cuts to where the girl and so there's
does
three
the whole
bank
movie take place in one day?
uh yes. Yeah. No, because the beginning of the movie when he's like dating the girl is multiple days.
Well, yeah, but like from
But
the
I
bank
think
heist
once
to
the
the end of the
bank
movie.
robbery, well, and then at the very end there's some bits after. So I think it is the majority of the day is the one very long bank robbery
Okay.
day. Anyways, if pretty sure. Yeah, actually. Anyways, so three bank robbers, the girl and Nate, Jack Quaid's character. So he's be fighting. So the first guy, he fights him, then he like, spoiler alert, dead. So then there's the two other robbers, and they're with the girl at their like meetup spot, and they're like, he hasn't shown up yet. He hasn't shown up yet. What's happening? And so one of the guys goes to like try to find him. And so then it's the one guy, bank robber, and the girl at their meetup spot. She was in on it the entire time. I did not see this coming. This feels like a very uh, predictable element. But guess what, guys? I did not see this coming. I was fully believing the love story between Nate and whatever her character's name was, and I was fully in it. So when she betrays him and she's like, because the bank robber that's left with her is her brother. And so she's like in on it. And he was like, well, you were supposed to get the codes from him, like, so we didn't have to rob the bank like we did. Like, she was supposed to. And he was like, well, broke my heart because I was fully invested in this relationship. And I was gutted when that plot twist came. Oof. But it all works out in the end because she like felt bad and she was like, no, actually, I do kind of like him. And so he like Nate finds them at their meetup spot and he's like, bro, she was in on it the whole time. She doesn't even like you. So he's all heartbroken. And I'm like, I get you, bro. So then they beat him up a little bit and then the cops show up. The cops also think Nate is in on it the entire time because he's like missing. And people are like, oh, he drove off with those guys. So they're like, oh, he's probably in on it. But anyway, so the cops show up and they like arrest everybody. They arrest Nate, they arrest the girl, they arrest the one robber left. Or sorry, Jack, Nate, same guy, okay? They fight and he's like on the floor and he's like, and then I think it's the cops show up, cops shoot him. because he's like gonna crush Nate's face. And so shoot him on the floor. Everybody's arrested. But then you think it's over? No. Gunshot. What? What's happening? Robert gets up from the floor, shoots the cop. No, not the cop's partner. Never kill a cop's partner. You know you're gonna get revenge. So, killed the cop's partner. He gets away and shoots the other cop. So everybody's down. But they had taken Nate off in the ambulance. He's in the ambulance. Now it's just the now the only people still alive are and then the guy, the bank robber runs away. Okay? The only people left are the cop and the girl. Okay? And she's like, "Oh, I'm going after them." And she's like, "Don't do that." And then she's like, "I'm gonna go after them. I know where he's going." And then she's like, "But wait, take me with you. Killed my partner. I need revenge." So they go in a car and they drive off. The bank robber had taken the ambulance that Nate was in to escape. So now the bank robber and Nate are driving away. And okay, the meetup spot was the pier. They all go to the pier. Chaos ensues. Another big fight breaks out. Happy ending though, because the brother, did he die? I honestly can't. Did he die or did he get arrested? I think he's dead. He's dead. Brother is dead. Nate ends up in the hospital, cast from head to toe.
Figures.
Yeah, but he's still alive. He made it. The girl goes to jail. Nate, because he's just a good guy, actually. He did a lot of bad stuff that day, but he's just a good guy. So he got 6 months probation, no, 6 months house arrest and some probation. Okay, so like he's chilling. Next scene, you're like, oh, so sweet. It's over. Movie's over. Next scene, he's visiting her in jail. They're still in love in jail. So cute. They only gotta wait 8 more months and then they can be together. So it was a happy ending, which is why I loved it. No,
I
anyways,
enjoyed this nice little recap.
yeah, it was so good. It I think it is the only movie I have seen in 2020 so far, like new movie. Best one.
2025.
That's what I said. Did I say 2024?
You said 2020.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No. That's crazy. I'm gonna listen to this back and then I'm gonna text you and be like, I said 2025.
You said 2020.
I definitely did not say 2020.
That's what I heard.
Well, you're crazy. Anyways, so it's very good. I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. And now,
Papa.
and now I have just
You
a
don't have
slight,
my rating to tank it down.
I know. Now I just have a slight little obsession with Jack Quaid.
A little bit. What?
So
What's
there's
a good
that.
obs What's a good new
I've always
obsession?
been a fan of his father. So
Who's his dad?
his dad is Dennis Quaid.
Oh.
He was the dad in The Parent Trap.
Ah.
Mm. And his mom is Meg Ryan. What's something you would know Meg Ryan from? She's in a lot of romance movies, so not really your scene, but she was married to Goose in Top Gun.
Okay. Believe it.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. But
Pretty sure.
he's their child. Anyways, love Jack Quaid. Maybe I'll be checking out The Boys. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. You know how I do. Gotta get those obsession. You
Little
know.
sneak peek. You should just watch
Yeah.
the edits.
Yeah. So, anyways, would recommend Novocaine. It's so good. The beginning is so cute. The middle is so enticing. And also so cute. Didn't
So
think I'd be
cute.
coming out of this movie saying it was so cute.
I wouldn't have guessed that either.
I didn't think this movie was going to be as good as it actually was. You know, as we've been saying, cinema isn't back yet, but this was a step in the right direction.
We just need
I
50
am
more of
dying.
these.
Yeah. If movies keep going this direction, cinema will be back. But I need a movie. I need to walk out of a movie and be like, "Oh my gosh, this was the greatest thing I've ever seen." That hasn't happened yet. Anyways, shall we get in today's actual topic?
Let us begin.
Today we're talking about Star Wars.
Whoop
We're
whoop whoop whoop.
finally diving into the Star Wars. I'm surprised we haven't gotten here sooner. Um,
What are you gonna do?
but hey, what are you gonna do? Star Wars is a fandom I probably know the least about out of my preferred fandoms. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
would say the same for myself.
I would say it's there are core fandoms for me, and Star Wars is in the top 10. However, I probably know the least Star Wars jargon, if that makes
Is that
sense.
because there's more to know, or because you know more of other stuff?
Um,
A little bit both.
Probably a little bit of both, but also I think because here's the thing, like with Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings has a lot of intricate and similar things to other things, so you get confused, and it's like they were only in this place for one little second, so you forget what it's called. I feel like Star Wars has a lot of that, but then there's more of it. So it has the same effect of like there's a lot to know. The words and like the names of things can be confusing, and also like there is more content from it. And I just watched Star Wars less than I watched the other stuff. I was thinking before I rewatched this one, I was like, couldn't tell you the last time I watched Star Wars actually. Um, I've probably watched the more recent ones more recently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I haven't gone back and watched the OGs in a while. So I
I
was like,
haven't seen all of them. I have
this is
not seen
crazy.
all of them. I've
This
never
is
seen,
crazy.
going in order, I've seen 1, 2, and 3. I have not seen Rogue One. I have not seen Solo. I have seen 4, 5, 6. I have seen 7. I have not seen 8 or 9. And there's another, I feel like there's another movie I'm missing.
I think there's
That's
just
that's it,
up
I'm
to
missing.
9, isn't there?
Well, another like in between one that I'm missing.
There's TV shows.
I've seen the first 3 episodes of The Bad Batch
I don't even know
and
that one.
and the first season of the Clone Wars. That's all I have got.
I have seen I've seen all the movies. And then I
And the
have
first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
I have seen the first season of The Mandalorian, not the second. I have seen all of the Obi-Wan show, all of um the um Andor show, but I have not seen any of the animated like Clone Wars, any of those guys. Sorry. I hear those ones are great, but I don't know.
The Clone Wars is pretty good.
It's what it
It's
says,
pretty good.
but because I feel like Star Wars now is, or at least the Star Wars that I'm experiencing, is the resurgence of Hayden Christensen being loved for Star Wars. Because you made a face.
What do you mean?
I'll
The
tell you.
resurgence that you're seeing? I thought you meant the most recent media, like content that's coming out as movies or TV
No, no,
shows.
no, no,
Not
no.
you're
Like,
talking about in like social media.
hmm but that reflects in the movies that are being rewatched over and over again are now the one, two, three.
So I feel like we've talked about this on the pod with Benny when he was there, but maybe not. The Star Wars, okay, originally the 3, 4, and 5 came out, and everyone's like, these are awesome, that's awesome. And then the people growing up, they grew up, they made the 1, 2, and 3, and the people who had grown up on the first ones were like, these suck, and we don't like them. And then the people who grew up on 1, 2, and 3 grew up and watched the 7, 8, and 9 were like, these suck, but now they like 1, 2, and 3, and it's just gonna keep doing that if they keep making them in these little bunches. Because, like,
Yes.
although I do think the very, very first episode 1 stinks. It's terrible. I really hate. I like the prequels. I hate episode 1.
You know why? You know why? Because Hayden Christensen isn't in it.
I just hate it. I hate watching it. I usually go in order, and what will usually happen? This is what will happen. When I rewatch the prequels, I start with three because that's what I like watching three, and then I go, I forgot I liked these. I'll watch. I'm like, oh, should I watch one? No, I hate one. So I'll go to two, and I'll watch two, and I'm like, this was okay. I think I just like three, and but I always am like, three was so good. Maybe I'll watch another one. Didn't need to watch another one.
You never go to four?
Well, when I feel like the when I'm watching the prequels, like to rewatch
Mm.
the prequels, I'll skip
Mm.
I'll
But then you could go to Rogue One.
I have yet to see well, that's a lie. I've seen the last half hour of Rogue One
Oh.
at a gym with you, and you were like, "Shoot, they're watching Rogue One in there," and you popped in. And they were like, "It's the end," and I was like, "But I'm not. I'm gonna do the bike thing in the movie room, so I'm just gonna watch the last half hour." So you're like, "Okay, perfect." So I seen how it ends.
Well, here's the thing with Rogue One. It's not a surprise because we
Yeah,
already have four, five, six. Um, but I
I
remember people being like, "What? They all just die?" I'm like, "Well, yeah,
did
I
you
mean,
see them in the fourth movie
we already knew about this."
or the third movie?
It's so interesting because they have the whole, well, let me put in the thing about Hayden Christensen before we move on from it because he deserves the spotlight. Hayden Christensen, something that makes me smile more than anything else in the entire world is seeing the videos of like Hayden Christensen at like fan events, whatever they may be, and him just like getting pure like joy and cheer from the crowd because they now appreciate him as Anakin Skywalker. When 1, 2, 3 came out, everybody hated him. Everybody hated him as Anakin Skywalker, and they were like, this because they didn't love the movies, so then they were like, Anakin Skywalker is trash. Nobody likes him. But now he's back as Anakin again, and they have all this new. And now they, as you were saying, they have gone back and now they really love 1, 2, 3. He like you can just tell like he's like, "Oh my gosh," like he feels all the love from the fans. I smile from ear to ear whenever I see that. Moving on. So sorry.
I have seen none of these.
I'll send you some videos.
Okay, okay.
There's one particularly, I don't know what kind of event it is. He's like getting interviewed, but there's like fans all around him and he's like up on this platform or whatever. And people are
Sounds
just
like any
cheering and
convention anywhere.
he's like tearing up and I'm just like, it's so cute. Anyways, um I think it's interesting that we just make the distinction between 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6 and 1, 2, and 3 because I can't think of another series that did it the way Star Wars did it, where you jump into a story in the middle of it as the first movie. You know, are you with me?
Yeah.
Like, can you think of anything else that has done that? Are you looking it up?
Doesn't I feel like lots of things do that. That's
What?
Star Wars is kind of Lord of the Rings does that. Star Wars is kind of like
No.
yeah,
Well, no. Well,
lots of
no,
things do that.
because no. What I'm saying is because Lord of the Rings is the beginning of Frodo's story. Star Wars, I mean, I guess you could say it's the beginning of Luke Skywalker's story,
Yeah, he's the main character.
but like Vader is they make hints in 4, 5, 6. They make little things about how there is big old backstory. And you're like, what's what is this about?
You want mysterious villains, not pre stories. Cause like we've talked, especially when I've talked to our dad. He's like, when Star Wars came out, he was like a mystery. He was like, why is he in this big suit? Why is he breathing like that? Like he's a scary guy because of the unknowns. And that is one of the reasons he didn't like the prequels because it answered all those questions. You just want some unanswered questions.
I'm not saying whatever group is better. I'm saying it's a weird uh thing within the Star Wars community that there is this big divide between 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 because 4, 5, 6 again came first, so like the older generation was like, this is my Star Wars. But like 1, 2, 3 has all that backstory.
I don't get your point. What is your point?
I'm just saying I can't think of it like I can't think of another series who that has done this.
Not many franchises are big enough to last several generations
That's what I'm saying.
of trios of movies.
This is what I'm
They're
saying.
kind of the biggest thing. They're probably the biggest individual franchise ever, probably.
Yeah. Like as in
Like like not as
movies
in like
or
like take for instance Marvel. Marvel is not in my mind a franchise. I'm not using this term like legally or whatever because like you have like oh, for example Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts is 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 kind of part of the Harry Potter. But like
yes.
Fantastic Beasts is its own franchise, even though it's in the Harry Potter world. Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars is all its own thing. Like it's all one.
Oh, you're saying because I was gonna my example was my rebuttal to that was gonna be like, well, Marvel has more movies to it, but you're saying
Marvel
in
is a
Marvel
bunch of little things.
there are subsets of Iron Man, Captain America, but Star Wars is all just Star
Star
Wars.
Wars is all one big story.
I see what you're saying.
And
Even though
I'm
there
just
are those different generations in the movies, you're saying it's all just one.
yeah,
Okay. I don't know if I necessarily disagree with that. Um, I think Marvel has a case to be made that it is the same, even though it is individual characters. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that statement, but I'll agree with you in this moment.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I'm somebody who like if somebody for the first time who's watching it and they're like, "Oh, what order should I watch it in?" I will say watch 4, 5, 6 first, and then go back watch 1, 2, 3 because there is that surprise villain element. You miss what?
Brad's villain.
No, like that Vader
Oh
is.
yeah, watch it
Yeah.
in the order it came out, because then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I
I
didn't know
would
that.
say I would say go 4, 5, 6 and then go back to 1, 2, 3, then do Rogue One because it is there. And then jump to the newer
One,
ones.
two, three Rogue One or 1, 2 Rogue One 3?
1, 2, 3 Rogue One. Rogue One sits between 3 and 4.
Oh, I thought it was 2 and 3. I guess that makes sense knowing what I know about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, you get the whole shock factor. Vader is Luke's father. That's like what they're setting up for. But if you're like gonna, if you've seen them all and you're gonna have like a Star Wars marathon, I would say go start from 1 and go on.
Skip 1, 2 through
Okay, start
9.
from
I
2 and
haven't
go on.
seen 8 or 9, and I'm told I don't need to.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get there. We will get there, Becca.
Okay. Because I remember when they all came out, they all came out around my birthday,
Hmm.
and everyone went and saw them instead of coming to the things that were my birthday. And so I was like upset about it, so didn't go see them.
Well, it's because our uncle, who is a massive Star Wars fan, his birthday is the day after you.
Yeah.
So everybody would go for his birthday.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm, anyways. Um, so specifically we're going to talk about episode 4 here.
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
This
Um,
is one of the best movies ever. It's an excellent movie. It's so good. The music is so good. The story is so good. The effects are so good. The sound is literally revolutionary. Lucas, what is the sound? It's not. It's Skywalker sound. Is like they do everything now.
interesting that
It's
you say the
excellent.
visuals are so good.
Why?
I agree with you.
They went back and changed the visuals to make them better.
Okay. There are parts. Okay, I was thinking about that actually as I was watching this because I was watching it on Disney Plus, and I know they go back and they change things or they update things like in which movie is it now that Anakin appears as a Jedi ghost when he didn't before? I don't
I don't
remember.
know. I don't know about this. I was talking about like Jabba the Hutt.
Yes, no, okay. Anyways, I was making that to the point that yes, I know they go back and things. Jabba the Hutt in this movie did not remember he was in this movie at all. He is the weirdest bit of CGI in this movie, or like effects or whatever you want to call
Do
it.
you know what he looked like before he was CGI?
No, because I can't even remember.
He's just like a fat, hairy guy. And there's a bit where Han Solo walks behind him. And when he was just a big old guy, he walks behind him. And in the new movie, they changed it so he's got this like big long tail. And they like edit it so he steps on his tail and goes around him. And it looks really weird, but like, it's kind of funny.
I'm looking it up. I gotta look it up. What does it look
He
like?
just looks like a little hairy dude. A little weird,
Mm,
a weird guy. Like, and then they changed it so
oh,
he's like
like he's a human.
yeah, he is a person.
Oh, that's crazy.
You never did see this?
That's why I don't remember Jabba the Hutt being in A New Hope.
It's just at the beginning where he's like talking to Han Solo
Oh,
and
it
then
looks like they
they
did several updates. So originally,
yeah.
oh wait. Okay, this little post that I'm seeing here, 1977, the movie comes out. The scene with him talking to Jabba, not in the original release. And then 1997, they went back and changed him, added him in as the lizard guy, but like he looks a little funky. And then 2004, they went back and redid it, and he's still CGI Jabba, but he still looks a little CGI Jabba. Because
Yeah.
Jabba it was is he's in the next one, yeah, in five.
I don't know if he's in 5, he's definitely in 6.
Okay, six. Six is the big one with Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Um, like he doesn't look weird in that one, but when I saw him in this one, I was like, oh,
He's not as much CGI.
yeah, he's like not no, because he's like up and walking around in this one. I'm like, isn't he like bedridden?
Where his slug feet at? How he's supposed to be
Yeah,
walking around?
yeah. What's happening?
He's like
Oh, that's so
marching through town like
interesting. Yeah.
because he was just a dude, properly
Yes.
a man.
Yeah, he was like a guy. The CGI reminds me of certain scenes in like the like Harry Potter 1 and 2 where they have like you know the CGI
Where
scene
all
where they have
the like flying in the air.
yeah, and like the one scene where they have like Neville being like flown and you're like this is a full-on CGI like
You're now comparing the CGI of a movie that came out in the 2000s to a movie that came out in the 70s.
I believe you it's good. I'm telling you it's good. I'm just saying it reminded me of that just in some specific scenes. Most of the time, you don't even recognize it. Obviously, I mean, there was the whole Java incident, but that's, anyways. I'm agreeing with you. The CGI is pretty good for the time that it was in. Isn't it that the
Well,
one, two, and three, everybody was like the CGI was worse than four, five, and six?
I don't know. There is a lot more of it in
Mm,
in 1, 2, and 3 because when they made with original release there was no CGI. They just did stuff and then they fixed it up and they were like boom CGI and then they fixed it and they were like boom CGI
mm.
and so they were all kind of on par, but they had like a much bigger budget and a much clearer vision because they're like, oh, we're fixing this specific part because it looks like this and we know we want it to look like this. Whereas in the newer movies, they're making a whole movie.
Do we still have the OG DVDs?
Did we?
Yeah.
I know we have DVDs of them. I don't know if they're the OG.
You know I'm thinking of the box,
Yeah.
the gold outside.
Every time I have friends over, so we have this like edition that it's all the DVDs and on the and it looks like a reverse CD case where you put it in this way because there's pictures on this side. It's Star Wars in big letters and it's like shiny. every Star Wars, I have friends who like Star Wars. Every time they come over, and they like sit on the floor, and they're like, "Ooh!" And it's on the very bottom shelf of like the corner, and they will sit down on the floor and take it out, and like, "Ooh!" Like we'll start playing with it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
we have other Star Wars things, but
yeah. Star Wars, I remember, obviously in the beginning of every movie, they have the big in a galaxy.
okay, when I was a kid, I remember that being every single one of them the longest intro I'd ever seen in my life. And rewatching them, they're not as long as I remember them,
Hmm.
but like definitely as a kid, I was like, we have to skip through the next half hour because the movie is not gonna start.
I remember every time we would have like a family movie night and the movie was Star Wars, or really just whenever we were watching it, we would always make Dad read that out loud every time.
Yeah,
It's like, how are we supposed to know what's going on if you don't read it out loud? Right.
I we used to have like Star Wars watching nights. May the 4th, we'd have like parties. We'd have like themed food and I feel like there was usually some Easter eggs being dyed, whether left over or not. Because I feel like I remember this.
Easter's usually in April, so
I know.
okay.
But like if we had I just remember we had a bunch of family over and we were watching Star Wars and it was May 4th because we had all the same food and then we were like doing crafts and dyeing eggs and like it might have just been left over.
Mm. Leftover from what?
Like like or you buy them
Oh, oh, I
early, like
see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
what?
I was thinking May was before April, but it's not.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
You're so right. You're so right. Okay. I'm with it. I understand it now. Mhm. Ugh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So make Dad read it. And then, okay, jumping into this movie, again, it's the middle of a story. So, like, I forgot that we were just jumping right in. I honestly, for a second, I was like, wait, did I put on the wrong movie? Because
How long
first
has it
scene,
been since you've seen this movie?
well, no, because like I remember the movie, but the very first scene is like a fight sequence on one of the ships. And I was like,
Yeah,
wait a second. And
like
to
like where's
me,
the sand?
it reminded me of one of the scenes in Rogue One. So I was like, wait, did I put on, or I was like, did I accidentally like skip part of the movie? Anyways, so it literally jumps right in, but you meet R2 and C3PO immediately. And like, I love that because they are the only thing, correct me if I'm wrong, that continues throughout every Star Wars movie. Am I
That's why
wrong?
it's all one big thing. I can't
Because
say
of
like
R2 and C3PO.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the Skywalkers, but they're pretty much the Skywalkers.
Well, you haven't seen the last two, Becca.
I don't know.
Mm,
I know he kind of like Jedi's away.
mm.
It's called The
There's
Last Jedi,
there's some things to
but
be said about the Skywalkers in the last couple.
okay,
Anyways,
I
anyways.
know none of this. I'm not knowledgeable.
Yeah. Anyway, we meet R2 and C3PO right off the bat, but we also meet Darth Vader right off the bat. And I remember him, or remember, when he walks into the archway for that scene, I'm like, dang, this is a cool villain. This
Yeah,
is a cool guy.
like he looks cool, he sounds cool.
Yeah.
Epic Imperial March, excellent.
Ooh.
Such a good song. Such a good,
Yep.
so good. Here for it.
It's very good. And then, yeah, so setting the tone, we're in the George Lucas said himself, he wanted it to feel like you got dropped in the middle of a story. Accomplished. Check. Did that. And then we get to meet the main guy, Mr. Luke Skywalker himself. Is it just me? Or I know it's not just me actually. Luke Skywalker is a little whiny.
Yeah, yeah. He gets his
Forgot
crap
about it.
together once everyone he knows dies. Then becomes
Oh,
like a Jedi Master and stuff.
speaking of the death scenes, skeleton bodies of his aunt and uncle his porch was crazy. That was crazy.
So I remember watching this as a kid and not knowing that that was his family. Like I was like, what? Like they just like burned his house? I don't understand. Like
Mm,
could not did not understand.
yeah. Tatooine. Because his house is like just a little black and burned, but like his aunt and uncle are bones. So not sure exactly how that happened, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Obi-Wan
So
could have
naturally,
been.
oh, did you want to give a little retelling of this movie?
Okay, Hannah rewatched it. I did not, but I have seen this movie
At
more
least
recently
once.
compared to her. So I'm just here's where we go. We open in this spaceship. There's a rebellion against the Empire on this rebel ship. There's Princess Leia. She's kind of a leader. She's stolen these Death Star plans, which is plans of uh this weapon that the Empire has built. Huge. She gives it to these robots, sends these robots in escape pod. They land on Tatooine. On Tatooine, there's this kid, Luke Skywalker, a little bit whiny. He he how does it start off with him? He finds the drones, right? He finds the message that and so he's like, shoot, let's take this to this guy who I think this message is for that I know. And the old guy is like, yeah, this message is for me. You are actually the chosen one. Your dad was killed by the guy who's leading the empire, and these droids are like, that's crazy. He fails to mention that his dad is the guy leading the empire. The droids were
Okay,
built by him. Whatever.
I
What
made a
certain
little
point of
note.
view.
I made a couple notes where they like say things like that, and I get the whole like secrecy thing, but like um, because um, his uncle or or somebody says he's got a little too much of his dad in him, talking about Luke, and I'm like, how many people know about Luke and Leia are Darth Vader's sons? Is it just the aunt and uncle and Obi-Wan?
Nobody knows about Leia besides her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, I don't know because they I think I do believe that because in the prequels they're like, where are we gonna send Leia? They're like, perfect, these ambassadors. Where are we gonna send Luke? Let's send him to his family on Tatooine. So they are related to him. So they must
Yeah.
know about Anakin. But also, I thought Anakin had no family because he doesn't have a dad, and I thought what's her face also didn't have any siblings. What is his mom's name? Something weird.
Padme.
No, that is his wife,
Oh,
who's
oh, you're
Anakin's
saying
mom.
Anakin's father. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about Luke's mom.
no.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So like I thought he didn't have any family, but then they're like, let's send him to his family on Tatooine, and he calls him Uncle whatever, Uncle Owen.
Olwen? Owen, you mean?
Owen. Owen is what I said.
Oh, I heard Alwyn.
You
I was
heard
like,
around.
that's crazy. Um, and then also, don't R2 and C3PO know Anakin?
Yeah, they know Anakin. They know Obi-Wan.
So
Obi-Wan knows them.
why they acting like they never met?
Certain point of view. So I understand why specifically Obi-Wan is like Anakin's dead, like, cause
Hmm.
he's like there is no Anakin. Like that's Darth Vader. Your dad is effectively dead. There's no good left in him. He's been turned. That's fine. I understand why he refers to it in this way. But he still continues to live out some important information. Like what's going on there?
Hmm. And and then there's a scene in when Obi-Wan and Vader are fighting, and Vader says Obi-Wan is here because he can feel it in the Force, and he says, I haven't felt this since the last time he was with his master. Um, and so like, do or is he talking about Obi-Wan or is he talking about Palpatine? No, Palpatine's still alive.
Yeah, he's talking about Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. But then like are the other people like what are you what are you talking about? Like the people working for him? You know.
Um,
Okay, okay. Because
I in like the Empire, I don't think it is a secret that Anakin is Darth Vader, because obviously
okay.
Palpatine knows. But like I don't think they're like blabbing about it, because most of the people that work for him don't know why he's in the suit. So why would he be telling them
Mm,
his tragic backstory? I think, and why would they? Nobody knows who Anakin is, because they killed all the Jedi's. So like it really is only Luke who is left out, who doesn't know anything. And then obviously like Leia's nobody tells the only people who know about Leia are her parents ish. But then they done be died.
I
So
did, but like there was also this weird dynamic, not weird dynamic, but I don't remember it being this way. As like when you think about Star Wars, you think about Darth Vader being the baddie at the top, right?
yeah.
But there were scenes where like all of the guards and stuff were having meetings and Vader was just there. Like he wasn't making decisions, he wasn't doing anything. Like there's one scene where he's like choking one of the guards and the other guy is like, "Vader, stop doing that." He's like, "Okay, whatever you want me to do." I'm like, Vader was in
So
charge.
so Vader is not the leader of the Death Star. He is a leader of the Empire.
Mm,
So it's like kind of different ranks, you know? So like he can bully them around, but he doesn't like, you know? I mean, he's a pilot, so he knows kind of what's going on, but like,
mm.
do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Maybe I'm confusing it because Kylo Ren is calling the shots. And so,
Kylo Ren is a big baby though. I feel like he wanted to be the guy in charge even though he wasn't like he didn't have to be.
yes. There's a lot to unpack with Kylo Ren. He's my
We'll
favorite.
get there,
We'll
okay?
get there. Back to Becca's
Kylo
recap.
Ren is more of a baby than Luke is, even at the beginning.
Oh, that's a hot take.
100% Kylo Ren is a baby. Continues to be a baby.
I have a shirt that says Ben deserved better.
He We'll debate that later. Listen, here's my recap. Where was I? Luke's like,
Uh,
shoot, we have to deliver these plans. His family dies, and he's like, okay, I gotta go deliver these plans. There goes being a milk farmer, I guess. Don't care about it. He didn't want to be one anyway. How does he get off the planet? He goes and find. They go to the. What is the bar? What is that
they
place
go to
called?
Moss Gillies.
Yeah. Anyway, they're like, we need ourselves a pilot. We need a fast one and one that doesn't care about being chased by the Empire. So they go and they find this guy. Actually, they find a different guy. Anyway, they end up with Han Solo, and he's like, "Perfect. We'll deliver you to wherever. It'll be chilling." I'm gonna hurry up this recap. Han Solo, they go, they get to the rebels. Han Solo kind of joins them a little bit. They go and save Leia, who is part of the rebellion, from some more Empire people. Then they're like, perfect, Luke, you are now part of the rebels. We're gonna go take down the Death Star because now we have the plans. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta get in your plane and you gotta drive in the like belly button of the Death Star and then shoot the gun into like this itty bitty hole in the middle. Cool? Perfect. We'll get 15 guys. It'll be sweet. Skip ahead a little bit. Now they're doing that. And they're going through. Wait, Obi-Wan is dead. He was fighting Darth Vader, and Darth Vader done killed him. Darth Vader, okay, listen. You said that there were some scenes that they added Anakin as a ghost in. When Obi-Wan, after, okay, Anakin became Darth Vader, Obi-Wan left to go to the forest, and he's like, the forest, the desert, I'm gonna learn how to become a ghost Jedi. That's what he goes into, like, not rich, like, he's like, that's what he's doing with all his time there, is he's learning how to become a ghost Jedi. Anakin never knew that before he became Darth Vader. Did Palpatine teach him? How come we never seen other Sith Lords ghost Sith?
Because only good guys.
Do you have to like be nice at the end? I
This
guess.
is, I know we have talked
Cause
about this.
he comes back as Anakin, not as old
Yes.
Darth Vader.
Yes. Well, the reason why, because it's when he sends him off in his Viking funeral, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and you see Ghost Yoda and you see Ghost Obi-Wan, and then they added in Ghost Anakin. But at the time, they didn't have Anakin because they didn't have one, two, three. So I don't know if it would be a choice that they would make from the get-go, or if they just decided later, or if they were like, yes, we would have done that, but they didn't have Anakin.
In 1, 2, 3, they talk about him not. It's at the end of 3. They're like, "What do we do with these babies?" And he's like, "I'll protect Luke. Don't you worry." And I'm like, "What am I gonna do in all the sand?" And this is right before Yoda leaves, but he's like, "I'm gonna teach you some secrets. I'm gonna teach you how to become a ghost lady." So when he gets killed by Darth Vader, and he's like, "I want to become more powerful than you ever did." See, he thinks that Vader doesn't know how to do that.
Well, maybe he just learned by himself.
How you be learning this stuff by yourself? If you could just be learning this stuff by yourself, why don't we see any other Sith come back?
What are the what like I don't know. I don't know what the qualifications are. So,
I do think that Palpatine would have known because he's like, I know all of the secrets. I'm gonna teach you how to fake to stop death.
mm,
So
yeah.
I gotta have all the secrets. He's gotta know how to become a ghost. That's
That's
gotta be
something
part of it.
that's something I could see you writing a paper on.
I hate writing papers. I have so
But
many
like
papers
you
to
would
write.
deep dive into this.
And I don't even like Star Wars that much. I ain't even seen all the movies. I do like Star Wars. I just am
What's the
not
one? I mean, I don't remember which one it is, so I don't want to give you spoilers. So never mind.
what
It's one of the new ones.
I okay, I know there's something with Palpatine in the very newest one that I don't know about.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about, but I
Something
won't.
about him in a chair on
We're
like
gonna save it. We're gonna save it. Oh, you might be thinking of something else, but we're gonna save it.
he's, he's in the last movie. I know this much.
We're gonna
I
save
don't
it.
know anything else regarding
Avoid them spoilers. Avoid them spoilers.
Obi-Wan dies. Luke is
Mm.
in the chair. He's like going through R2D2, and he's oh no, everyone's dying, and and Obi-Wan Ghost whispers to him, and he's like, "Turn off your computer thing." And Luke's like, "What?" And he's like, "Turn off your computer thing." So he turns off his computer thing, gets it in, explodes the Death Star. All the important people in the Death Star fly away before this happens. Um, and they come back and they get medals, and now they're part of the rebellion. Good job. That's the recap.
The end. I love that it just ends. It just like they literally fade to black, and you're like, oh,
Every time I
the end.
watch this movie, when they get medals, I'm like, shoot, this the end? And then it ends immediately after that. I'm like, shoot, this is the end.
This
They
is,
ain't nothing left.
yep. It's an abrupt start and it's an abrupt end. They really have
It's just a
no.
snippet of a story.
Hmm. Facts.
Yeah.
Hey, something that I love about this movie that is very like movies back then were just made like this and nobody cared, that everything is so convenient. Like
What do you mean?
things just happen right when they need to happen. Things just like like it may have something to do with like the stupidity of the stormtroopers, but like things just like, oh my gosh, we need this to survive. Walk around the corner. Oh my gosh, lucky us, it's right here. Like
What do you mean?
oh man, I should have done a specific example. Um, you don't know what I'm talking about? Like things just are conveniently happen and nobody questions. They're like, well, okay,
I don't I would need an example.
like the trash compactor just stopped just in the nick of time, or like um uh I don't know. I
I
because
was like,
it's just
where's the
little
realism?
like Obi-Wan is sneaking behind the stairs so nobody sees him, and then he sneaks back to the other side to conveniently turn off the thing and nobody notices.
But that's what he's been doing the whole time is just sneaking around. He's not fighting
You
anybody.
know,
He's not looking for anything. He goes, you know what I need to do?
things are just too, they're just so convenient. That's what I'm saying. No, you don't notice it because you're not thinking about it. You're just
You know
watching the
in the
movie.
Lego movie when Lord Vitruvius is go like sneaking around the corner and then he fall that's what I imagine. Like
Yeah. There's one scene where it's like, so a lot of what's going on when they're in the Death Star is the gang, Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca are trying to get out. So they're like fighting these people to try to get back to their ship to try, and Obi-Wan's trying to take down the guards so that they can get out. So a lot of them is trying to get out of the Death Star. When they're trying to do this, they like get Luke and Leia get to like this bridge area that the bridge is not open. So it's like a hole and they're standing on this ledge and then there's a doorway. They close the doorway, so they're like, "Oh, the stormtroopers can't get us." Different doorway up above. Stormtrooper comes and shooting at them. They're like dodging the lasers and by like
everyone knows stormtroopers can't aim.
well, actually, I was thinking about that in the very opening scene. Those stormtroopers get a lot of them guys.
They're very close to those guys though.
Yeah.
They're very close.
Yeah, but they're like, okay, so they're like dodging the stormtroopers, and they use the exact same clip of Luke going in and out, like shooting, coming back, and then they use the exact same clip of Leia doing the same thing, like 4 times in a row, and I'm like, this is the same clip. Because they're making the exact same faces and the exact same movements every single time, and you're like, oh, this is,
They needed 4 more seconds of the movie.
yeah. I was like, that's honestly hilarious. Oh, anyways, I don't know, why did I bring that up? I don't even remember.
Convenient.
It's convenient. They only got one and they just looped it.
They were like,
Oh,
shit, all of our other takes were not good.
this one also has the iconic stormtrooper scene where he smacks his head on the door. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Becca, this is the version of did you know Aragorn actually broke his toe? That is this so in one of the scenes where they're trying to get out of the Death Star, the stormtroopers are all walking into one of the communications room. And there's a bunch of stormtroopers walking in. There's like the main stormtrooper that you can focus on, and then the stormtrooper right behind him, like to the right, smacks his head on the door as he's walking in, and he just like keeps going because he's in the middle of the scene, but it's in the movie.
I believe
I'm
it.
so surprised you've never
I
heard of that.
probably have heard it. It's just been a while. I haven't been in my Star Wars anything forever.
Mm. Yeah, okay. Well, next time you watch it, watch them stormtroopers because smacks his
Watch them
head.
stormtroopers.
Watch them
I'm on
stormtroopers.
it.
Also, this movie, I think when people think of the original three, everybody says that um was it Empire Strikes Back is the best one. I don't think people really pick this one as their favorite. Personally, for me, I think it's because there's like one lightsaber battle in this movie. Most of it is like guns and fight like flying battles. One lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Vader, and that lightsaber battle is pretty weak. It's not very exciting.
He lets him die. He's like, kill me, I bet you. I
Hmm.
dare. I dare
Yeah,
you to. And he's like, bet. Shoot.
yeah. Luke hasn't learned all the skills yet. There's no lightsaber fighting in this one, which is what you want out of a good Star Wars movie.
I guess.
People have clipped it being like they take clips from when the like 2 and 3 of like the epic lightsaber battles because Hayden Christensen and Obi-Wan like really got into those lightsaber battles and like came up with their own moves and stuff. And then they clipped it to like a scene in one of the older ones. I don't know exactly which one, but it's like Rey and Kylo fighting and they're just like doom, doom, doom. I'm like, that's what this movie is. They're just going. "Hmm." There's
Punch
no
him
cool
at once.
moves.
He was as hard as I can.
Yeah. They're both too old for that. They don't have time for cool moves.
Yeah.
Every time I see this version of Obi-Wan though, I think of Ewan McGregor. I'm like, old Ewan, even though it's not. I'm like, I'm convinced that I am watching him
You're like,
in
it's
old
just such a
form.
perfect cast in your mind. You're like, perfect.
It's so perfect. Um, I just, yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's quiet.
It's great. This movie is good. But I do think it's not my favorite out of the OG three, as I was just saying. There's not enough lightsaber battles in it. This might lead into some more swashbuckling obsession because it's the same vibe, you know?
Hannah loves her pirates.
I
I
love a
can't get
sword
enough.
fight. I don't know what it is about it. It's just,
Your
I
sword
love it.
fighting movies are the same three movies, though. It
Name
is
them.
Count of Monte Cristo, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Zorro.
Pirates is more than one movie though. That's
It's the
so many
same though.
movies.
It's the same though.
I'll also watch Three Musketeers.
Yeah, and the
So,
newest, the 2013 Three Musketeers.
name another good swashbuckling film
The Old Musketeers.
besides that one.
Uh, I don't watch. I'm not a huge
That's
swashbuckler
that's what I thought.
myself,
That's what I thought.
but you watch the new Three Musketeers, and I feel like that
I've
just
never seen the old one, I don't think.
it's pretty good. I just think the new one's ridiculous.
It's got
The plot is weird, and they have like flying stuff, and
it's got the guy who's Mr. Darcy in it. Love that guy. I don't know his name. What's his name? You don't even know who I'm talking
I don't
about.
know. It has Percy Jackson, that one
Yes.
guy who is also a main character of a different movie that I'm not thinking of the name of, and then not quite blonde guy. That's who I remember.
Matthew.
Isn't there four of them?
Y y y yes.
And then the lady is also famous.
It
Whatever.
his
I
name
don't
is
think that
Matthew McFadden.
that
McFadden?
sounds so familiar. What is he in?
Pride and Prejudice.
What else is he in?
He's in uh uh he's in well, what's something that you would know him from?
I don't know. That just sounds such a familiar name.
He's in Op is he in Oppenheimer? Actually, wait. No, no, no. He's in
I ain't seen
Succession.
that.
Have you heard?
I ain't seen that.
He's in. I don't know if you have seen him in anything.
Maybe I just
Um,
heard the name. I
you want
seen
a
him in the
picture? You want to see a picture?
2013 Three Musketeers. Yeah.
Oh, can't
I
see.
can't see this.
Oh, wait. It went off of it. Hold on.
Show it to me at an angle.
Matthew. Matthew.
Yeah, I seen him. What do I know him from?
From what?
I don't know. I seen him though.
Love that guy. Love Pride and Prejudice, my man.
My man.
My man. Anyways, I should rewatch Pride and
Anyways.
Prejudice.
What else we got? We got anything else?
I think that sums it up for episode 4.
We should get some of our Star Wars experts to guest star. I think that would be such an interesting conversation because we only know half of what we're talking about, and
We're
they
like
definitely know what
dumb.
they talk about.
We're like dumb compared to them in the Star Wars world. I
100%.
remember I said something about one thing, and two of our cousins were like, "Well, this it can't be that because of this," and I was like, "Oh,
Do you know how
sorry."
many times this has happened to me where I'm like something Star Wars, and then I get then the person I was talking to shows me lightsabers that they like for the next hour and a half. This happened many times. Many
See,
times.
like, I mean, obviously, I've got it's backwards. I've got a lot of mementos and you know, oh, this is so hard doing in reverse. Things.
Can't you just look behind you and see what side it is on?
Well, it's reversed in the camera. I was trying to do it in the camera. I've got a lot of Marvel, got a lot of musicals, got a lot of Harry Potter. I don't think I have anything Star Wars
You have made Star Wars things.
for other people.
Yeah.
But
I don't
yeah,
think I have
I don't
Star
have
Wars.
I'm
Oh,
going to
that's a lie.
Disneyland. Oh, what?
I have Star Wars pins.
Pins. Oh, I yeah, I probably have like one or two Star Wars pins. I have a Kylo Ren pin, I know that. But I'm going to
Okay,
Disneyland.
pause. Do you like Kylo Ren because you like Adam Driver, or do you like Adam
No.
Driver because you like Kylo Ren?
I I like okay. Um my big introduction to Adam Driver was Kylo Ren. I had known about Adam Driver before Kylo Ren, but so I'll say I like Adam Driver because of Kylo Ren.
I don't
But
think I don't think you continue to like him because of Kylo Ren. I think he's a goofy
y-
guy and that's why you like him.
correct. Correct. Kylo Ren was the introduction to my obsession with Adam Driver, and now it's just him as a guy.
How
Love.
old was he in the first one?
In the first one he was in,
Yeah, in Solo.
let's see. Well, how old do you think he is?
It's like 40.
Everybody's like 40 these days. He's
Yeah,
41, so
everybody's like 40.
everybody's like 40 these days. I don't know what is the first one, Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
That was in 2015, and he was born in 83. What's the math on that?
10 years ago. Well, you can just say he's 41 now, and that was 10 years ago. He would be
Oh,
31.
you're so right. He was 31.
He seems younger, but maybe that's just because I can't age anybody in my eyes.
I'm so bad at guessing ages. So bad.
I'm terrible.
Everybody is 30 or
If
40.
you're above 12, can't guess your age. Sorry.
hmm
My ages are 1 to 2, 2 to 12, 12 to 50. Well, no, 12 to 70, 70 to 100.
You can't tell the difference between a 13-year-old and a 55-year-old.
12 to, well, here's the problem. They overlap. Because I know some kids in my neighborhood who I know are 13 years old and they look 21. 100%.
I would say once you hit 20 to 35, I'm like, I got no idea. I got no clue.
You know those guys at like state fairs and they're like, "You're this age, you're this weight, you're this whatever." Which, by the way, is a terrible. Who thought that up? Isn't that like all the rude things that you can tell a person?
Yeah.
A- Anyway, they go, "Here's your age, here's your weight,
I've
here's
never
how
seen one
ugly
of
you
those.
are on a scale of 1 to 10."
I've never seen
I
one of those in real life.
I have. He guessed my age when I was a, a baby. I was like 10 or something. And he was
Mm,
like, "You're 10." And I was like, "I am 10." It was something like that. How did
nice.
you know? Younger
Mm,
kids are probably easier. He did
mm.
ask me what grade I was in right before that, so I
Well,
shouldn't have been impressed. But
that's a that's a sign. Yeah. Meh. Anyways,
anyways,
anyways, final thoughts. Love Adam Driver. Go see Novocaine.
I like Star Wars. I love the music. That's the when I think of Star Wars, I think of Star Wars, lightsabers, music. Wow.
Wow. Enough said.
Enough said.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Leave a
Agreed.
comment. Tell us how to fix the lighting in Becca's room.
Yeah. If you think anything we said was wrong, please tell us. I would love to hear.
If you're a Star Wars expert, let us know what's
But
up.
don't just complain for 3 paragraphs. Make it entertaining. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Toodaloo. See you later.
Toodaloo.
Bye.